What's up, guys? This is Ian Awol Johnson. With me, as always, is Dalton BobaFett Killingsworth. We're here with the Chaos Gaming's first episode of The Breakdown.
What's up, guys? This is Dalton BobaFett Killingsworth here with Awol and The Breakdown. Basically, what The Breakdown is me and Awol will take different discussions in MLG, the hot topics in MLG about teams, team changes, and just in general, and about MLG. We'll also be talking about Chaos Gaming, what's going on in the clan, and some other hot topics about Chaos Gaming.
Absolutely. So right now, we're going to go ahead and jump right into one of the discussions, which is a very hot topic within Chaos. That is the Chaos Circuit versus Elite Squads. Now, a lot of people are new to the whole aspect and idea of Elite Squads, which those of you that are veteran members tuning in, you remember these. It was a group of 4 to 8 people within a branch that would battle other branches for, prosperity and for bragging rights and whatnot. And this was actually taken over by the Chaos Circuit not too long ago. We did have the first Chaos Circuit, which didn't go too well, but this was actually taken over once again by, I do believe it was Frosty Chaos. Took it over the second time, if I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Boba. And on the second go, we didn't have as great of a turnout as we did the first time. If you remember, Boba, the first time we had this, we had, I think it was around 15 to 20 teams, and that's a lot of people contributing within Chaos on the Halo side. Now, it was eventually taken over also on the Call of Duty side as well, but on the Halo side, it's taken a real dip in numbers, with only, I do believe, 6 teams on the new Chaos circuit. And what exactly does that mean for the upcoming seasons? Are we going to see a second season for Chaos, the Chaos circuit, or are we going to revert back to the old ways of Elite Squad, or maybe we get both? What exactly is your thoughts on this, Dalton?
Well, the first time I tried to do this Chaos Circuit, it didn't really go too well. Teams weren't really showing up for their games, and teams never got on just to practice, and it just seemed no one really cared about it. So, I really don't know about. I mean, Frosty is trying to do his best to get this circuit going and fully functional, but he's running into the same problems I have. He had to extend the preseason another week just for the teams to get some practice in. And once again, he didn't really have a good turnout as the last circuit. Last circuit, like you said, we had about 12 teams, I believe, and again, none of them.
12.
Yes, it was 12, I believe, and
okay.
No one started showing up for the games, and I got very not annoyed, but kind of disappointed in the whole thing. So I kind of dropped it, and I tried to get the Elite Squads back because when I was first in Chaos, we had the Elite Squads, and we really enjoyed them. But it's just you can't have both, and I don't think you can have both. But I mean, obviously, it's either one or the other, and we need to figure out which one it is, because if the circuit's not working, then we might need to go to Elite Squad. And then Frosty told me that the Elite Squads weren't working, so he went back to the circuit, and the circuit is doing a little bit better, in my opinion, due to the first season. But again, I still see the same problems. Teams are not getting on. People have very high schedule conflictions with each other, and they have to miss a game. And the Call of Duty guys, they basically said if you don't show up, you forfeit the match. And I mean that got the circuit to flow better. But half the teams forfeited their matches, half their matches, because, their schedules were conflicting with each other. So,
now, what I'm seeing in this is the Call of Duty side, if I do recall, has probably twice the numbers that the Halo side has. We only have, I do believe, 5 branches.
Yes, we have 5, and Call of Duty side has 11 branches, so they have quadruple our numbers.
So also what I did notice is on the original draft of the Chaos Circuit, which was done by our very own Cheddar, shout out to Dave for setting all of this up originally, but one of the other things that did become a problem within the Chaos circuit was the ability to not really be able to pick anybody up mid-season. There is a roster lock on the initial one. Now, then again, I have not caught up fully on the rules of the updated Chaos circuit, but the old ones, there was a roster lock. So if somebody got off due to family issues, due to Xbox issues, maybe their internet wasn't going, maybe they were out with their girlfriend, but whatever the reason may have been, they couldn't pick up anybody to replace a lost player, so that immediately dropped the team fully from the circuit. What's more is the whole powerhouse player deal. That's something I definitely wanted to touch ground on. The powerhouse players are basically herded into a group. For those of you who don't know how the Chaos circuit fully works, but they're hurdled into a group and they're sent out to the slaughter. One team's captain picks a powerhouse player, the next team picks one, and it's done initially at random. There is no person who gets first pick, right away. It's almost like a drawing out of the hats. And what that means for the powerhouse player is that if they get picked onto a team that is inadequate to their own playing ability, maybe they don't like a certain person on that team, whatever the reason may be, is they can't switch. There's trading of players within it, but if one team gets a powerhouse player and they love that powerhouse player, and another team gets that different powerhouse player, and that powerhouse player isn't meshing well with that team, maybe not the team captain, obviously, because that person did initially pick that person, but maybe there's a problem between members, they get the short end of the stick, is what I'm trying to say. They can either drop out of the circuit and not be able to play for the rest of the remainder of the season, or they can transfer with permission of a major, and a lot of teams may not want to change. What exactly? How do you feel about that?
Well, I obviously didn't like it. I understood the reasons why we did it, because Chaos is mostly casual gamers. So what they wanted to do was separate all the really good players and break them apart into different teams to even out the playing field, because they didn't want basically a god squad full of 4 really good players dominating the whole circuit, because they believed that the casual players wouldn't even sign up and that the whole thing would just be a bust anyways. But the roster log, I just didn't like it, because like you said, it was one guy not having to be there. That means that entire team would have to basically drop out for the rest of the circuit, and that's not fair to the other 3 players that are still able to play. So I honestly didn't like it. But as long as I want to talk about Chaos, we need to jump into our next discussion about MLG, because we're almost out of time.
Wow, time is going by really fast. We only get an hour, or not an hour, wow, I really wish. We only get a 10-minute slot to talk about this. Unfortunately, we didn't get a touch down on Elite Squads. Maybe we'll pick that up on the next episode. But right now, we're going to go ahead and give a shout-out to the 1v1 tourneys hosted by iPoppyBear Chaos. Now, Christian's doing a lot of big stuff with this. Basically, he made it to where it's called the Noob 1v1 tournament, if I do recall, where you aren't allowed to join in if you are anything higher than a commander, if I do recall. So that also includes honorary ranks such as legends. I'm sorry for you, Boba. You don't get to participate in this. That must really touch on some nerves. But this is a great chance for a lot of the members to not only meet up with one another, maybe meet a new person from a different branch, but also gives a fair and equal chance towards that prize pool, which I hear is very, very good, because it's not DMR start. This is actually very interesting. I do enjoy the stylings of this tournament. It's done with randomized weapons. So to those of you who really are interested in this, signups are still going on the website. The website is www.360chaos.net. And go ahead and go on to, I do believe it's the circuit page is where it's located. Go ahead and click on the 1v1 tourney hosted by, once again, iPoppyBear Chaos, and sign up on that as fast as you can. That's part 1 of episode 1. To watch part 2, go ahead and click the link in the description below.